and welcome to our presentation titled One Click Away. My name is Dhruv Bengali.
I'm Cassandra Doshi.
I'm Preston Nguyen.
And I'm Anika Tripathi.
The majority of college campuses in the U.S. have programs set up to address students in a crisis, as well as how to prevent these crises. However, there still exists a disconnect between the resource providers and those are in need that need them. Students are often made aware of all these resources available to them, usually held in the first days of school. The problem with this is that the students are overwhelmed by the amount of new information. In summary, universities fall short of being able to educate students properly about the crisis resources available to them.
What is a crisis? According to the CDC, a crisis is an acute emotional upset. It is created by an inability to cope emotionally, cognitively, or behaviorally, and to solve problems as usual. This means an individual in a crisis is facing a difficult situation, is unaware of what to do next to solve the problem at hand. While many college campuses offer plenty of crisis management resources for their students, the challenge is that these important resources are inaccessible and hard to find for students because they're often hidden or buried under a ton of resources.
As university students, we offer a unique perspective on the many stressors of college life. From newfound independence to academic rigor, social pressures, and financial burdens, we understand the challenges firsthand. These stressors can lead to emotional crises, exacerbating the already daunting landscape of university life. Additionally, exposure to substances may be more prevalent and accessible than ever before, adding another layer of complexity. While resources exist to support students in navigating these difficulties, they often remain inaccessible to those who need them most, compounding the struggle.
What do we hope to achieve by offering a solution to this problem? Our aim is to enhance both awareness and utilization of these resources. We recognize the importance of accessibility in addressing crises, especially with the challenges that college life brings. So to address this goal, we created a campus course page, a website, and a presentation which we will explain in more detail further into this presentation.
The former University of Minnesota president, Joan Gabel, cited a study which found that mental health in college students nationally has steadily declined over the last 8 years, with a 135% increase in depression and a 110% increase in anxiety. This is cited by M.N. Daly.
Going further, the period between 18 and 24 years of age represents the time in the life cycle during which there is the highest incidence of mental illness. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation, which is not matured until the mid-20s. Peer influence, family situations, social media, and academic pressures can lead to negative influences that affect students. Not being able to regulate and balance fosters the brain's plasticity to make students more susceptible to both positive and negative influences, which affects mental well-being.
There are many reasons for why students may not be aware of the resources available to them. The biggest one being ineffective marketing and low visibility. Schools often rely on outdated methods like bulletin boards and flyers, missing students who aren't on campus regularly. Additionally, crisis resources are typically only emphasized during new student orientations or first-year programs, leading to diminished recall.
Social stigma also contributes to this lack of awareness. According to mentalhealthcoalition.org, nearly 1/3 of Americans worry about judgment after disclosing mental health service use, and over 20% have lied to avoid revealing their pursuit from these services, highlighting the ongoing social stigma against mental health and addiction issues.
Now let's delve into addressing the signs of mental health crises, because early recognition can significantly influence the effectiveness of help. Understanding the key signs of a mental health crisis, which can develop suddenly or gradually, is not just important but also potentially life-saving. Key indicators of a mental health crisis include extreme mood swings, social withdrawal, increased agitation, sleep pattern changes, overwhelming fear, hints of self-harm, and major shifts in daily functioning skills. Recognizing these signs is crucial for providing support and preventing a crisis.
A general mental health crisis resource is the 988 Suicide Prevention Hotline. Trained crisis counselors are available to listen to callers, provide emotional support, assess their level of risk, and offer guidance on coping strategies and resources. Furthermore, counselors work with those experiencing a mental health crisis and/or suicidal thoughts to develop safety plans tailored to their individual needs.
Many colleges in the U.S. have an on-campus clinic to address student and faculty needs. At the University of Minnesota, Boynton Health is that clinic. The specific branch of Boynton, known as Boynton Mental Health, offers plenty of support from walk-ins for urgent mental health crises to scheduled appointments and support groups. This is a great resource for individuals at the university wanting professional medical help to treat their mental health. Let's talk. This option offers free virtual and in-person drop-in consultations for University of Minnesota students all throughout the year. Let's Talk is not a substitute for formal counseling, but it gives students the opportunity to vent out their frustrations and stress with counselors on campus. Counselors can address specific problems, provide support, and offer solutions. This is a great option for part-time students who are not required through the university to have medical insurance.
Substance abuse has 3 signs. Physical warnings, which include bloodshot eyes, changes in appetite or sleep patterns, deterioration of physical appearance, sudden weight loss or weight gain. Then there's behavioral warnings, which includes difficulties in relationships or neglecting responsibilities at work, school, or home. The 3rd sign includes physiological warnings, which includes nervousness or instability, sudden mood swings, increased irritability, or angry outbursts.
Boynton Health Recovery on Campus, or ROC, is a key resource for UMN students facing health crises, specifically substance abuse. It offers anonymous weekly meetings and the opportunity for students to work with counselors to create a personalized recovery plan. Additionally, Minnesota's 911 medical amnesty law protects underage individuals from legal repercussions.
Help Compass is a dynamic and interactive platform that connects individuals to the help they need. The site asks questions such as, is the individual seeking help for an immediate or a non-immediate crisis, and whether the individual is faculty or a student. And finally, what is the issue they need help with? Dividing issues up into physical safety, basic needs, mental health, physical health, incident reporting, conflict resolution, and guidance. The site then takes these inputs and generates a bunch of resources on campus available to them.
We aim to consolidate a various amount of mental health resources we found in our research into one easily accessible hub. Students are paying for more resources that are included in their tuition, but many are not aware that they are accessible to them, especially when they're in a crisis.
Because University of Minnesota students already utilize Canvas, an online learning platform, for their coursework and other academic activities, we thought it was the best place to host all of the resources. We chose to create a Canvas page because Canvas provides a single platform where students can easily locate mental health resources, which ensures quick accessibility and convenience. To add people to the Canvas page, we had them fill out a Google form to ask for their consent in email.
The American Medical Student Association, also known as AMSA, is one of the top pre-health clubs at the University of Minnesota. With an active membership of around 200 students, we had the valuable opportunity to present at one of their club meetings. This presentation allowed us to engage directly with a group of highly motivated future medical professionals, sharing insights and resources regarding their academic and professional development.
Another one of our activities is the poster presentation at the Health Science Education Building. The Health Sciences Education Center is one of the busiest places on campus. We set up a booth regarding our project to raise awareness about how to get help. With over 500 students of engagement, we were able to educate students and elevate their understanding of what resources are available to them in a crisis. Through this activity, we were able to reach students and educated them on how they can take action for their peers.
We developed a website to streamline access to the mental health resources we found because we want to ensure that it's readily available to all. Given the necessity of manually adding individuals to the Canvas page, we created a website that provided a more efficient solution for disseminating information and ensuring accessibility.
We developed a pre- and post-evaluation tool to assess the awareness of University of Minnesota resources among students. The university has over 30,000 undergraduates, and our sample size included about 1,000 students. Before our presentation, students used a QR code to access and complete our pre-evaluation quiz. The quiz aimed to measure each student's knowledge of available resources. We targeted college students specifically, but acknowledged that our tools and presentation might also reach students, professors, and staff on campus.
Furthermore, we asked the question of whether they have experienced a crisis. Based on our data, 60% of those surveyed said that they had not experienced a crisis, 7.5% said that they don't remember, and 32.5% said that they have experienced a crisis before. This means that almost 1/3 of students have experienced a crisis before, which is consistent with nationwide data taken on students that have experienced a crisis before. The final question on our pre-evaluation quiz asks students to indicate their familiarity with the list of resources provided on campus, aiming to assess their prior awareness before our presentation.
In order to measure how effective our presentation was, we created a post-evaluation Google form. The post-evaluation form once again asked how many resources are known to each individual student after the presentation. As you can see in the numbers, the level of awareness of the resources we talked about have increased after our presentation, which was our overall goal.
For instance, according to our pre- and post-evaluation forms, there was a 74.5% increase of awareness for the You at UMN mental health resource for students. Even for Boynton Health, which is the most commonly known resource at the University of Minnesota, there was an increased jump from 85% of the students we sampled to 91.4% of the students we sampled that knew about the services offered by Boynton Health. Our last question asked whether or not the students found this presentation helpful. Overall, 88.6% rated that they had an increase of awareness about the readily accessible resources available on and off campus from this presentation.
From our evaluation plan, this project turned out to be a massive success, with students frequently making comments about how they appreciate the effort to consolidate the resources available to them in one single place, where they could get everything all at once. This sentiment is also backed up by the data, which points out that 88.6% of respondents thought that the course achieved the goal of making crisis resources more accessible to people.
There was a big jump in awareness about the resources offered by Boynton Health, going from an already high number of 85% to an even higher 91.4%. Further, between the pre and post evals, there was a 74.5% increase in the amount of people that knew about You at UMN, which is one of the mental health resources that is highlighted both on our Canvas page as well as our website.
I've gained a better understanding of the struggle many face in accessing healthcare. I once encountered a distressed woman who needed to return home from the city but lacked the resources to do so. Fortunately enough, I was able to support her, assisting her in finding a way home and educating her on how to access the necessary resources in the future was incredibly rewarding. The experience not only highlighted the diverse challenges individuals face during crises, but also fueled my passion for healthcare. It reinforced my commitment to empathize in treatment and deepened my resolve to provide accessible, affordable healthcare in the lives of those who are often overlooked in our healthcare system.
Going into the medical professional field, I am aware of the great disparities that are present in our current healthcare system. Finding accessible resources is hard when some individuals have to choose between getting the help they need and getting food on the table. Because of this, I believe it is of the utmost importance that individuals are aware of the resources available to them at little to no cost. This project is a start towards achieving this goal and allows us all to strive towards a future where healthcare is truly a right and not a privilege.
By participating in this project, like the goal of this project for others, I increased my knowledge of resources provided to me in case I were to ever need any resources during a crisis, an understanding of my own mental health and well-being.
Since I don't directly intend to work in a medical field, I feel as though this project gives me a unique perspective on tackling resource awareness issues in my field. Struggles with crises such as the ones aforementioned are something that everyone struggles with, regardless of any factors such as age, profession, race, gender, or the like. Using what I've learned in this project, I can make sure that resource accessibility is taken into consideration in the workplace.
In conclusion, our project successfully addressed the lack of awareness of crisis management resources among college students at the University of Minnesota. Through strategic presentations, partnerships, and digital platforms like a Canvas page and a dedicated website, we significantly improved the visibility and accessibility of crucial resources.
Our comprehensive approach has not only raised awareness, but also cultivated a proactive and supportive campus culture. Evaluation results and positive feedback confirm the project's effectiveness, demonstrating a notable increase in student resource awareness. We remain committed to enhancing these efforts, ensuring students are well equipped to handle life's challenges and contributing to a resilient university community.